Take a moment to think about this, what you think about expands. Picture that for a second. Imagine your mind as a fertile field, and whatever you plant in it, whatever seeds of thought you choose to nurture will grow and expand. And here's the kicker, there's no filter on what that expansion includes. Negative thoughts, they'll spread like wild weeds. Goals and dreams, they'll flourish like a garden in full bloom. So let's make sure your goals are worth the growth. Let's make sure what you're pouring your energy into is worthy of you. Now listen closely, because this is important. The things you dwell on, the thoughts you choose, they're creating your reality every single day. You've probably heard what you think about, you bring about. But it's deeper than just that catchy phrase. Your thoughts aren't just idle whispers in the back of your mind, they're blueprints. They're the foundation of your future experiences, shaping everything from your relationships to your health, to your very sense of self. So let me ask you this, are your goals worth that kind of power? Because here's the deal, friends, every time you focus on something, you're feeding it, you're growing it. When you pour time, energy, and emotion into a goal, into something you truly want, you're setting off a ripple effect. You're inviting all of life, all the invisible forces we can't even begin to measure, to come together in alignment for you. And guess what? If what you're focusing on is rooted in love, in passion, in the deep truth of who you are, then everything expands in that same direction. Because clarity, it's the starting point for creation. It's where you begin to see the seeds you want to plant, and you nurture them daily until they expand and take root in every corner of your reality. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds great, but how do I even begin? It starts with a simple shift. A shift in how you think, how you dream, and most importantly, how you believe in yourself. Think of it like sculpting a statue. Every time you choose to focus on a goal that truly resonates with your soul, you're chipping away at anything that isn't aligned with that vision. You're refining, honing, shaping who you are. Let's get real for a moment. Think about your current goals. Are they truly yours? Are they truly yours? Are they goals that come from a place of joy, curiosity, and growth? Or are they handed to you by society, by family, by a version of yourself that no longer fits? This is the time to clear away any goals that don't light you up. Because here's the truth, if you're not excited by your goal, you're not going to pursue it with the energy it deserves. And I know life's not always easy. Sometimes it feels like there are 1,000 reasons to doubt, 100 barriers between you and your dreams. But that's just the conditioning talking. The doubts, the fears, the stories about why you can't, those are all illusions. You have to dig deep. You have to find the fire within you, and you have to choose thoughts that expand that fire. Because what you think about expands. Take a moment right now, close your eyes and think about something you deeply, truly want. Picture it in vivid detail. What does it feel like to have it, to live in it? Hold that feeling, let it wash over you. And now, let that be the fuel for every thought you think, every action you take. When you fill your mind with thoughts that align with that vision, you're sending a signal to the universe. You're saying, I'm ready. I'm ready for this reality to expand in my life. So ask yourself this, what are you expanding today? Are you expanding joy, possibility, self-love, or are you expanding doubt, limitation, fear? Remember, every moment, every thought, you're planting seeds, and those seeds are growing. Choose wisely. This is where we go deep. Real change happens when you learn to fall in love with the process. The small, everyday moments where you choose to focus on your vision, your dreams. Every time you replace a limiting thought with one that expands your world, you're moving closer to who you truly are. So today, make a commitment to yourself, a commitment to think expansively, to dream with your heart wide open. Let go of what doesn't serve you. Let go of the doubts, the fears, the limits. Focus your mind and let life unfold around that vision. Because, my friend, you are powerful beyond measure. And the world is waiting to see what you'll create. Take a moment and look at your day, the little choices you've made, the actions you've taken, even the ones you barely noticed. Think about it. Every single one of those choices is like a breadcrumb leading you along a path. And if you want to know where that path leads, you don't need a crystal ball. You just need to look at the trail you're leaving behind. Let's get right to it. If you want to know your life's direction, look at your daily actions, not your plans, not your intentions, not even your dreams, your actions. Because your actions, they're the language of your commitment. They're what tell the universe and you what you're truly about. Here's a question for you. Are your daily actions aligned with the life you're dreaming of? Are they steering you toward that vision you hold in your heart? Or are they keeping you stuck, circling the same patterns over and over again? Let's break this down, because this is the heart of it. Your future isn't built in some big dramatic moment. It's built in the quiet, unassuming minutes of your day. It's built when you choose to spend 10 minutes reading instead of scrolling. When you choose to speak kindly to yourself instead of criticizing. When you choose to take a step, no matter how small, in the direction of your dreams. And here's a truth that might sting a little. If your actions today don't align with the life you say you want, then that life is just a wish. And wishes are beautiful, but they don't grow unless you water them with action. I think of it like this. Imagine you're planting a garden. Every time you take an action, it's like planting a seed. Some seeds grow flowers, others grow weeds. If you're planting seeds of procrastination, self-doubt, or distraction, guess what's going to sprout? And on the flip side, if you're planting seeds of discipline, creativity, and self-belief, you'll wake up one day surrounded by a garden you're proud to walk through. But here's the thing about gardens and about life: you have to tend to them every single day. You can't plant a seed and then walk away hoping it'll grow while you're off doing something else. And you can't pull up weeds once and expect they'll never return. It's about daily care, daily action, daily alignment. Let me share a story with you. A friend of mine once told me about a period in her life where she felt stuck, like she was going through the motions but not really getting anywhere. She had these big dreams, beautiful dreams, but she wasn't moving toward them. One day she sat down and did something powerful. She wrote down everything she did in a single day, from the moment she woke up to the moment she went to bed. And when she looked at that list, it hit her like a lightning bolt. Almost none of her actions were connected to her dreams. That's when everything changed. Started small, just one action a day that aligned with her vision. It wasn't dramatic. She didn't quit her job or overhaul her life overnight. But day by day, those small aligned actions added up. And before she knew it, her life began to look a lot more like the one she'd been dreaming of. Now, let me ask you this. What does your list look like? If you wrote down your actions today, what story would they tell about the life you're building? And if that story doesn't match the one you want to live, what small shift can you make today to bring it into alignment? Here's the beauty of this idea. You don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to figure everything out. You just have to choose one thing, one action that's in harmony with your dreams, because momentum is a powerful thing. One small step turns into another and another, and before you know it, you're running toward your vision. And don't underestimate the power of those small steps. Think about water carving through rock. It doesn't happen in a single rush. It happens drop by drop over time. That's what your daily actions are. They're the drops of water that shape your future. Now, you might be thinking, but what if I don't know what actions to take? What if I'm not even sure what my dreams look like? That's okay. Start with this. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? Not just what you want to have or do, but who you want to be. Then let your actions reflect that. If you want to be a writer, write a sentence today, just one sentence. If you want to be healthier, take one walk around the block. If you want to feel more love in your life, send one kind text to someone you care about. These aren't huge leaps. They're small, deliberate steps, but they're powerful because they're aligned with your vision and alignment. That's where the magic happens. Here's a little exercise for you. Take a moment right now to close your eyes and imagine the life you want to create. Picture it vividly. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Now, open your eyes and ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today that moves me closer to that life? Add just one thing. And then this is the important part, do it. Because action is what turns dreams into reality. It's what takes your vision from something in your mind to something in your hands. And every day you have a choice. Are your actions moving you closer to that life, or are they moving you further away? There's no in between. Every step, no matter how small, is part of the journey. Choose steps that lead you forward. And here's a final thought: to hold on to your daily actions aren't just about creating your future. They're about shaping who you are right now. Every time you choose an action that aligns with your dreams, you're telling yourself, this is who I am. You're stepping into your power, into your truth. You're becoming the person you were always meant to be. So today, choose wisely. Choose actions that honor the life you're dreaming of, because your dreams deserve nothing less. Think about the times in your life when you set a goal only to feel like the universe didn't hear you, like the pieces didn't fall into place. Ever wonder why? Let's take a look at one simple truth. Clarity is power. When you get specific about what you want, really specific, you ignite forces around you that begin moving in the same direction. But here's the thing: clarity doesn't just mean knowing what you want, it means knowing it in detail, in color, with every sense in your being. It's like taking a hazy dream and polishing it until it becomes a vision that shines unmissable. Here's the secret to clarity: the clearer you are, the more certain you become. And the more certain you become, the more unstoppable you feel. The universe responds to that certainty. You are putting out a signal that isn't muddled by maybes or I think I want this. You're saying, this is what I want, and I'm ready for it. Let's go deep here, because clarity isn't just a nice to have, it's everything when it comes to manifesting your goals. Imagine driving a car through a thick fog. You can barely see a few feet in front of you. Your progress is slow, cautious, tentative, because you don't know what's ahead. But now imagine that fog lifts. Suddenly you can see the road, the signs, the path. You pick up speed, you drive confidently. That's what clarity does. It removes the fog, it lets you see clearly, and once you see clearly, you're unstoppable. Now ask yourself this: how clear are you on what you truly want? Not what sounds good to other people, not what society says you should want, but what lights you up. If I asked you to describe it right now, could you paint me a picture so vivid that I could feel it with you? Because that's the level of clarity we're talking about. Specifics, the details that bring it to life. I'll give you a little exercise. Take a goal, you have a big one, a life-changing one. Maybe it's starting a business, finding a soulmate, writing a book, traveling the world. Now sit with it. Ask yourself, what does this look like in my life? How do I feel? What am I seeing? Who's there with me? Get as specific as possible. If you're thinking of a new job, don't just think, I want a better job, define it. What does your workspace look like? Who are you working with? What are you doing every day that makes you feel alive? When you get this clear, you're not just wishing anymore, you're transforming a vague idea into a concrete vision. And here's the magic: when you're this clear, you set powerful forces into motion. You've given the universe a target, and now all the invisible threads start weaving that target into reality. Opportunities you didn't notice before suddenly pop up. People come into your life who align with your vision. You're tuned in, you're aware, and you're ready. And here's something that might surprise you: the universe loves specifics. It's like ordering at a restaurant. If you just say, I want food, the waiter won't know what to bring. But if you say, I want a grilled veggie sandwich with extra avocado on sprouted grain bread, you're going to get exactly what you ordered. Life works the same way. The more specific you are, the more you're able to order exactly what you want from the universe. Now, a common question I get is, what if I don't know what I want? That's okay. Sometimes the path to clarity is taking small steps toward what feels right and trusting that with each step your vision will sharpen. You don't have to have the entire picture on day one. It's about tuning in, following what excites you, what feels true. Clarity comes with focus, with action. And don't worry about how it's all going to come together. That's not your job. Your job is clarity. The how is up to the universe. When you set that vision, the how will unfold as you take inspired action. The resources, the people, the circumstances, they will come when you're clear and when you're ready. This is about aligning yourself so completely with what you want that the world can't help but respond. Remember, clarity is magnetic. It draws in everything it needs. It creates a force so strong that even obstacles turn into opportunities. And when you're clear, the doubts, the fears, they quiet down. You don't have to know every step. You just have to be clear on where you're headed. Clarity isn't about knowing everything. It's about knowing the essence of what you want. It's about feeling it, seeing it, embodying it. And when you do, life responds. Let me ask you something. How often do you get caught up in the how of your dreams? How often do you find yourself lying awake at night, spinning your wheels, trying to figure out every single step, every twist and turn of the path ahead? Now, let me tell you a secret, something life has been whispering to you all along, but maybe you've been too busy planning to hear detach from the how and stay loyal to the why. Because here's the truth, your why is the engine of your dream. It's the heartbeat, the soul, the reason you felt that spark in the first place. Your why doesn't care about the details of how it all unfolds, it just knows it must. And when you stay loyal to your why, when you let it guide you like a North Star, the how starts to take care of itself. Life steps in. The pieces start falling into place in ways you never could have predicted. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a dense forest. Your dream, your goal, is on the other side, but all you can see are the trees, the obstacles, the unknowns, the things that seem impossible to navigate. If you stand there frozen trying to map out every single step before you even take the first one, you'll never move. But when you trust your why, when you trust that the other side is worth it, you step forward. One step, then another, and suddenly a path begins to reveal itself. Not all at once, but step by step. And sometimes that path leads you to a clearing more beautiful than anything you imagined. Now, here's where it gets even better. When you let go of rigid expectations, you make space for something greater. You open the door for life to surprise you. Because the universe, it's got a sense of humor. It's creative, it's abundant, and it's always working behind the scenes in ways you can't see. But you've got to trust it. You've got to be willing to loosen your grip on the how. Think about it this way. Have you ever noticed how tightly we cling to our plans? We create these step-by-step blueprints for our lives, and then we get so attached to them that we forget why we started in the first place. And when things don't go exactly as we planned, what happens? We panic, we doubt, we tell ourselves this isn't working, when in reality, it's just life redirecting us to something better. Here's a story that might resonate. There was a man who dreamed of becoming a great artist. His why was clear. He wanted to create beauty, to inspire others, to express what words couldn't. But he became so fixated on how it would happen, on getting into a certain art school, on being discovered by a specific gallery, that when those things didn't work out, he almost gave up. He thought maybe this dream wasn't meant for me. But then something magical happened. He started creating art for the joy of it without worrying about the how. And guess what? His work caught the attention of someone who introduced him to opportunities he never even knew existed. His why led the way, and life delivered something far greater than his original plan. Now think about your own life. Where are you clinging too tightly to the how? Where are you letting the need to control the process block the flow of something extraordinary? Maybe you're trying to build a business and you're obsessing over the perfect marketing strategy. Maybe you're dreaming of a relationship, but you're stuck on meeting the right person in the right way. Or maybe you're simply trying to find more purpose, but you're waiting for the stars to align before you take that first step. Let's break that cycle right now. Here's an exercise to help you let go. Close your eyes for a moment and think about your biggest dream. Picture it vividly, the way it feels, the way it looks, the way it lights you up from the inside. Now ask yourself, why do I want this? What's the deeper reason behind the dream? Is it freedom? Love? Creativity? Impact? Hold on to that feeling, that why. Let it fill you up. And now, here's the hard part, let go of the how. Imagine taking all those plans, all those worries about how it's going to happen, and placing them in a balloon. Watch that balloon float higher and higher until it disappears. Trust that the how will unfold in ways you can't yet imagine. Because here's the thing, life doesn't operate on your timeline. It doesn't follow your rules or your neatly laid out plans. Life is bigger than that, more expansive, more unpredictable. And when you let it work its magic, when you give it room to breathe, it will take your why and transform it into something beyond your wildest dreams. Let's get practical for a moment. Start by taking one inspired action toward your goal, just one. Don't overthink it. Don't try to map out the whole journey. Just do the next thing that feels aligned with your why. Maybe it's making a phone call, signing up for a class, or simply writing down your vision. Trust that each step is enough. Trust that the path will reveal itself as you walk it. And remember, every detour, every delay, every unexpected twist is part of the plan. It's not a failure, it's a rerouting. It's life saying, I've got something better for you, so stay open, stay curious. Stay loyal to your why and let life surprise you. You are not here to micromanage your destiny. You're here to align with it, to trust it, to co-create with the infinite possibilities around you. Detach from the how, stay loyal to the why, and watch as your vision unfolds in ways you never thought possible. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you faced an obstacle and thought, why is this happening to me? Be honest. We've all been there. It's so easy to look at challenges as roadblocks, as if life is trying to hold you back, delay you, or even worse, derail you entirely. But let's flip that script. Let's see obstacles for what they really are: teachers, not barriers, not enemies, teachers. And the lesson? Growth. Here's something powerful. Every challenge in your life exists to sharpen you, to prepare you, to make you stronger for the path ahead. Think about that. Every single obstacle isn't here to stop you, it's here to guide you. It's here to show you something about yourself that you might not have seen otherwise. Imagine this: you're climbing a mountain. The path is rocky, uneven, and sometimes you trip, you stumble, you skin your knees. And in those moments, you might feel frustrated, maybe even defeated. But each step, each stumble is teaching you something. It's strengthening your legs, toughening your resolve, making you more prepared for the next climb. That's what obstacles do. They strengthen you for the journey. So here's a shift that can change your life. Stop asking, why me? And start asking, what's this teaching me? Let me share a story. There was a man who dreamed of becoming a great writer. He sent his first manuscript to a publisher and waited eagerly. The response? Rejection. He sent it to another, then another. 20 publishers turned him down. Imagine how easy it would have been for him to say, maybe I'm not cut out for this, but he didn't. Instead, he looked at each rejection as feedback. He studied the letters. He rewrote, refined, learned. Eventually, his manuscript was accepted, and he went on to write bestsellers that inspired millions. That man saw his obstacles as teachers, not barriers, and that mindset made all the difference. Now let's bring it back to you. Think about the obstacles you're facing right now. Maybe it's a difficult job, a strained relationship, or a goal that feels just out of reach. What if you started looking at these challenges as opportunities to grow, as stepping stones to becoming a stronger, wiser version of yourself? Here's the thing, obstacles are mirrors. They reflect back to you the areas where you're ready to grow. They show you your blind spots, your untapped potential, your hidden strengths. And yes, sometimes they're uncomfortable. But isn't that what growth feels like? Think about the butterfly. It doesn't break free from its cocoon without a struggle. That struggle is what gives its wings the strength to fly. So let me ask you again, what are your obstacles teaching you? Maybe they're showing you patience. Maybe they're teaching you resilience. Maybe they're reminding you to stay humble or to trust the process. Whatever the lesson, embrace it. Lean into it. Because every time you do, you're stepping into a higher version of yourself. And here's a little exercise for you. The next time you hit a wall, I want you to pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what's the gift in this? It might not be obvious at first. But if you sit with it, if you open your heart to the lesson, you'll find it. And when you do, that obstacle will transform. It will no longer be a barrier, it will be a bridge. I know what you're thinking, that sounds great, but how do I actually do this when life gets tough? Let me break it down. Start small. Maybe you're stuck in traffic and it's driving you crazy. Instead of stewing in frustration, ask yourself, what can I learn here? Maybe it's patience, maybe it's gratitude for the quiet time, or maybe it's a reminder to leave earlier next time. It's not about the size of the obstacle, it's about the mindset you bring to it. And here's a secret, the more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. Over time, you'll start to see challenges not as interruptions, but as opportunities. You'll welcome them not because they're easy, but because you know they're shaping you into the person you're meant to be. Remember, this life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. Every bump in the road, every detour, every so-called failure is a chance to grow, to learn, to evolve. When you see obstacles this way, they lose their power to hold you back. Instead, they become your allies, your mentors. And one more thing, don't forget to celebrate the journey. Every time you overcome an obstacle, take a moment to acknowledge how far you've come. Look back at the mountain you've climbed and feel the strength in your legs, the fire in your spirit. Because here's the truth, you're not just surviving these challenges, you're thriving because of them. So the next time life throws you a curveball, smile, say thank you. Embrace the lesson and keep climbing, knowing that every step, every stumble, every triumph is taking you closer to the incredible life you're building. Think about your goals right now, not just the big dreams, but those quiet, persistent desires that nudge at your heart. Now, let me tell you something profound. Your goals are not the finish line. They're not just some trophy to put on the shelf or a title to add to your name. No, they're far more extraordinary than that. Your goals are a catalyst. They're the spark that ignites the most radiant, most authentic version of you. And here's the twist, the true magic isn't in reaching the goal itself, it's in who you become on the journey. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine standing at the base of a great mountain, gazing up at its peak. The summit looks majestic, almost overwhelming, doesn't it? But here's the truth, the peak isn't what transforms you. It's the climb, the steps you take, the obstacles you overcome, the strength you didn't know you had until the path demanded it of you. That's where the magic happens. See, every time you set a goal, you're giving yourself a gift, not just the gift of accomplishment, but the gift of growth. You're saying to yourself, I am worthy of this effort. I am worthy of becoming more. Now, let me ask you this, what would your life look like if you embraced every goal as a chance to uncover more of your potential? Here's a powerful truth, goals aren't about having, they're about becoming. The act of striving for something greater pushes you to shed old habits, outgrow limiting beliefs, and step into a version of yourself that's braver, bolder, and brighter than the one who started. And that's the secret right there. Your goals are a mirror. They reflect back to you your untapped capabilities, the parts of you that are ready to grow. Take a moment to think about a goal you've achieved in the past. Maybe it was graduating from school, running your first 5K, or even learning how to cook a new recipe. Was the real victory just the certificate, the finish line, or the dish on the table? Or was it the confidence you gained, the discipline you discovered, the pride in knowing you did something you once thought impossible? Because here's the thing, every step you take toward your goal builds you, even the missteps, even the days when progress feels slow or you doubt you're getting anywhere at all. Those moments are shaping you too. So let's shift the focus for a moment. Instead of asking yourself, what do I want to achieve? Ask this, who do I want to become in the process? Let's make this real. Picture this, you set a goal to start a business, write a book, or maybe just wake up earlier every day. Sure, achieving that goal will feel amazing, but think about the person you'll have to become to make it happen. The discipline you'll need to cultivate, the creativity you'll unlock, the resilience you'll build. Every challenge along the way is like a personal trainer for your spirit, strengthening the muscles you didn't even know you had. Let me share a little story with you. There was once a woman who dreamed of running a marathon. At first, the idea seemed impossible. She couldn't even jog around the block without losing her breath. But she started small. 1 block became 2. 2 blocks became a mile. Along the way, she discovered something incredible. It wasn't just her legs getting stronger. Her mind was changing. She started believing in herself in ways she never had before. She began tackling challenges at work with newfound confidence. Her relationships deepened because she carried herself differently. And here's the punchline. When race day finally came, she realized the finish line wasn't the ultimate victory. The real victory was who she'd become along the way, a woman who could set her mind to something and follow through, no matter how daunting it seemed at first. That's the power of goals. They stretch you, they transform you, and in the end, they lead you not just to achievement, but to joy. Because joy doesn't come from the destination, it comes from the journey. From the moments when you surprise yourself, when you discover strength you didn't know you had, from the connections you make, the lessons you learn, and the growth you experience along the way. Here's a thought to carry with you. Every goal is a doorway. And every time you step through, you enter a new version of yourself, one that's closer to your highest potential. But here's the catch, you have to trust the process. You have to embrace the twists and turns, the victories and the setbacks with the same open heart. So I want you to try this the next time you set a goal. Don't just picture the end result. Picture the person you'll become on the journey. Visualize the growth, the wisdom, the joy that will unfold along the way. And then with that vision in your heart, take the first step, because the moment you start, you're already winning. The moment you commit, the transformation begins. Remember this, your goals are not just about getting somewhere, they're about growing into someone extraordinary, someone unstoppable, someone who lives fully, embraces the journey, and finds joy in every step along the way. Thanks for joining me today. If you found value in this discussion, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more motivational content. Share your thoughts in the comments below.